Hello everyone. In this episode, I'd like to make a summarize on what I've been explained so far about relational non-duality, this philosophy. So what's the core, most important thing about this philosophy is that it suggests that the essence of all the existence is relationship, is not entity. So why this understanding matters? So we will step by step explain. First of all, so through the history that no matter it's from Western or Eastern, people are always fascinating about one thing. What's the essence? What's the essence of existence? So the existence is combined by what? Is it by material or is it by consciousness or something like, mysterious or even God? So what is the essence of existence? So through all the history, there are many of different philosophers and philosophy suggest different things. So I'd like to suggest that there are 4 types of understanding about this on this issue. So the first one is materialism. Materialism, I'd say, most famous is from ancient Greece, suggesting that they are material, very small material. They combine together, and we call it atom. And then we found out quark. So this explains what does this philosophy means, and what this perspective bring for the society. First of all, this is an apple, right? So this is an apple that we see by our eyes. But what actually is the essence of it? So we found out, actually, there are smaller material like this. So, we can still see it from eyes. But then, with the development of science and technology, we found out also within this small part, there are still smaller material that combines to make this apple. So then we give this material a name, like atom. And then we discover more, like within this one, they're smaller. So it's like almost like endless loop. Essentially, we just go to our endless loop, then we're confused. So what is actually the smallest material then? We don't know. So there are string theory that suggests that actually that's just frequency. You just wave, it's not even an entity. It's not a substance. So this is the time that finally we break through about this attachment to entity. But this takes so long time for Western philosophy to go to the state like now. We're not talking about the differences between materialism and idealism. Idealism is another extreme. But we're talking about the essence of existence itself. We found out essentially, is wave, is field, is quantum, is like infinite ocean with full of potential. This is what we know so far. So this is the first understanding about the existence of the essence of existence is materialism. Materialism, essentially, you go to something more abstract. So, okay, so now let's discuss the effect of this kind of thinking. We all know that science is born from philosophy, and specifically is from Western civilization, and Western civilization is born from ancient Greece. So now we understand why, because this kind of thinking actually is very popular back to the time. So people are fascinating about discovering the truth, the ultimate truth or the existence by material way. That's why they keep exploring, essentially developed science and technology. So this is quite important for the Western civilization and for the whole world, because science makes so much contribution for the world that it's something that we cannot ignore. I mean, right now I can record this video by the camera and post it on YouTube and all of these things. If without technology, I cannot even share. Without technology, if you in ancient time, you can only listen to whoever you know teach you about or talk with you about. You cannot know another side of the world, how other people think. And if there's something make more sense, you will never know because there is no technology, right? Okay, so that's materialism. And the second perspective I'd like to discuss, representative, is ancient Indian Sankhya. So what is Sankhya? In Hinduism, they have 6 major schools. They all worship the same God, but they have quite different understanding about the existence, and their philosophy can be quite different. Samkhya is one of the school. So what is Samkhya? What is this dualism is trying to tell us? So actually, when you study Samkhya, you will see everything. They all understand it in dualism way. It's not like I'm like criticizing it. No, let's understand their logic. This, we can call it essence, we can call it ontology, but this is the source, right? Basically the fundamental, the foundation of existence. But then, because of it combined with some kind of producer or something actually process it into the reality, like the tree, like the leaves, like the flower, like the human being, like lives, river, and everything. So that's the essence, but because it's processed by something, eventually we have something else. And they also suggest that they have like 3 guna. Well, you don't need to like understand what is the 3 gunas means, but basically, because this essence are attached to something, something which is not the essence. There are 2 things, right? This is the essence, this is something which is not the essence, because they combine together. Essentially, we have the result of all the existence. So why these thoughts? Why we have this kind of thoughts? What does it trying to explain? Is that, when we see the essence is just one, is consciousness, is God, or is something just abstract. You can give it a name, whatever. But then, how we have the diversity of the world? Why we have the, everything so different? Why they manifest in such a different way? So why it happens? Why, right? If we say it's Brahman and Brahman is just, one and it never change or whatever, then why we have this? So different schools have different explanation. To Samkhya, their explanation is because the essence is combined with something which is not the essence, and there are 2 different things, and essentially lead to the result that we have the diversity of the world. So this is dualism. This is a second perspective on our existence of the world. And the next perspective, is kind of like opposite to the dualism, which is monism. Monism suggests that the existence is just one. There is no 2, there is no 3, there is not 0, it's just one. You can call it God, you can call it consciousness or whatever. The essence is just one. Okay, so how we explain this one and the many, like we already discussed, the reality is so different, diversity, how we explain that? So for Advaita Vedanta, they explain it is because of Maya. Maya is what? You can suggest that is ignorance. Yeah, actually it is. What they suggest is ignorance. Because it's ignorance that we don't see the one essence, so we thought there are diversity. But the diversity is not even real, it's an illusion. So basically this is their explanation. Well, so far I'm just saying this much. This is their explanation about why we have diversity in the world. And the next is a highly abstract theory, an understanding of existence. That is, the essence of existence is emptiness. Actually, you cannot really suggest it's emptiness. Let me explain what this emptiness they are talking about. And we found this kind of thought in Buddhism. And this kind of thought before the quantum physics, before like string theories. For Western people, they never think in this way, to be honest, because before we're all suggesting their entity, they are ontology, which is in materialistic way. So we're trying to discover what it is, we're giving them. But essentially, Buddhism suggests that the essence is emptiness, is shunya, shunyata, but it's not really a real emptiness. It's what? It's actually this kind of thought you can find in ancient Veda. In Veda, they have one of the poetry is suggesting that this is like an infinite ocean or full of potential, and then manifests in different shape and different form. In one of the sutta, they suggest that, and Buddhism actually, eventually, they become also a theory like this. But the original Buddhism, they are very extreme. They suggest there is just completely nothing there. But then with time, they actually become more middle way. But from the beginning, they were absolutely, really also another extreme about everything is emptiness. It's just like that. So that theory we're just talking about emptiness, which is not real emptiness, let's just give the name as shunya, which is full potential, or you can call it quantum, right? Quantum field or whatever. So this thing, of course, is highly, almost identical to nowadays the theory about quantum physics, about field, about relational field I mentioned, because the existence itself is this infinite potential field. It's not an entity there. So at least this is the most advanced understanding, which actually sync with ancient time Vedic understanding. So people will ask, how do you know? How do you know that the existence itself is not oneness? You have to say the existence, the essence of existence is basically the manifestation itself. Why? Because when you say there is one, there's just oneness. You can give it a name. You can call it quantum. You can call it quark. You can just even put it in more detail. You will find it's like an infinite loop, right? If you want to say what's the essence within the material, that's for material. That's a dead end loop, right? And for the idealism, if you suggest that is just the essence is oneness, you can call it consciousness, you can call it God, but essentially there will be a problem. So what is the problem? The problem, obviously, you can never say it or prove it. You can just say, okay, consciousness is an entity somewhere, is existence somewhere there, and it's always still, it's never moved, and that is something that is just assumption. It's just assumption. So through all of these things, all the existence, we can give so much different theory and assumption on everything. But there is one thing we cannot deny is what? Is the process of manifestation itself, right? The process of manifestation doesn't matter you call the essence is matter or the essence is consciousness. When it actually manifests as different thing, different thought, different shape, you know the process itself is real. So this is why that you can deny, you can doubt all the essence as an entity, but you cannot doubt, you cannot deny the procedure of manifestation. So this is why the theory of relational non-duality is based on understanding the essence of existence is manifestation, and manifestation is combined with all sorts of different type of relationship, because that's how things manifest. It's because of relationship we manifest as different thing. For example, the relationship between our body and our mind, and we manifest different thoughts, we manifest different state of our body situation, and also every day we are aging. All of these things are manifestation. and it's all combined with causality and all type of effect which is connected with by relationships. So now we know that no matter psychological or physical way, that everything is just keep manifesting, and based on condition, based on relationships, based on all sorts of causality, so everything keep manifesting. So is there any entity behind this manifestation? Not really, not really. What's the manifestation itself is just like ocean and wave. The essence is ocean, right? But the wave is how it manifests. But if you want to say that the essence is some kind of entity which is different than the wave, that is wrong. Because in a sense, ocean is wave, wave is ocean, right? Because of the ocean itself, they have full potential. So the potentiality actually manifests as wave with different shape and different form. So this is the understanding of manifestation. And this is the core reason, actually this is the core reason why I don't agree with Advaita Vedanta at a point that this suggests that this ocean is consciousness, right? But what is consciousness? If we already understand that everything is the result of causality, is the result of relationship, then what is consciousness? Consciousness is just one of the wave, just one of the result of the ocean, right? So now I manifest as this person with consciousness, and when I'm dead, this consciousness will be unmanifested, right? It will be unmanifested to this full ocean with full of potential. So how can you call this ocean is consciousness if consciousness itself can be unmanifested, right? So this is the core reason. And of course, Advaita Vedanta will be disagree with me right here, because they will suggest our consciousness is always there, is outside, is beyond the manifestation, is beyond, is always there, is the essence, which is the monism, right? We already discussed there earlier. So, well, I disagree. Why? Because consciousness is the result, not the cause. The cause is the field with full potential. The cause is the causality itself, is the process of manifestation itself. Anything that we can experience, we can see, we can feel, no matter it's consciousness or everything we see in our environment, that's the result of this full potential ocean. And this ocean itself is a field. You cannot really name it as consciousness. Consciousness is just one of its manifestation. So of course, this kind of thought that I just said is more close to Buddhism, because Buddhism suggests that we need to get rid of the obsession of entity. We always have this obsession of entity, about a materialistic way, or Monism or Dualism. They always suggest there is an entity, there is a ontological existence, and then somehow it processes as all of the diversity. They always have this obsession of ontology. And Buddhism say that we need to get rid of this obsession, because if we have such a strong attachment to this obsession of this entity of one, then we just cannot really get close to the truth. But Buddhism itself is also have conflicts, because from the very beginning, they also, as I said earlier, they go to another extreme. Like Buddha, he actually go to very extreme level about because he really against this attachment of entity. But when things go extreme, they are always become a little bit too much. It's just like the left wing and right wing. Actually, they both have their point, but when they go too far, they're too extreme, they both become a little bit, you know what I mean. But then after a long time, then they go to the middle way. Middle way, even now, is just one of their school. But for middle way thinking, I would suggest that is more acceptable. But yeah, that's my opinion. About Advaita Vedanta, I would say that, yes, they break through the attachment of materialistic ontology, right? They say material, the essence is actually is not material, is something else. But actually, because they abandoned the material ontology, they go to another extreme, which is idealistic ontology. Because why? Because they suggest the essence is consciousness itself. So the material and all the thing is just ignorance and all the stuff. And that's just idealism. And idealism, this debate between idealism and materialism through all the time, from Western world or Eastern world, always going on, that we all know. Okay, so now we discuss something even more important. So what's the point of understanding this? What's the point of understanding the essence of existence? So if based on what we say, if you agree with me that you also understand the existence as it's just based on relationship, based on condition, and it's just potential full of a potential of quantum field, it manifests in different things, that means what? That means there is no unmover. Unmover, what is unmover? It's something just still there, never move, never change, forever, eternity. Something like that. So that thing is the eternal observer, everything manifested in different way, different shape, and all the things. That's why that thing can be detached. If you consider you are that observer, and that's somehow that you can be liberated, that's based on their theory, right? Based on their theory, if you can be an unmover, detached from all of these things, then you will feel liberated because no more attachment. You know that you are not always manifestation anyway, right? But if based on the understanding of what we just suggest, then there's very sorry, but there is no such unmover. So what should we do then? The world is not perfect, far from perfect, and is full of suffering. So what, we should just manifest again. There's nothing we can do about it. That sounds pretty awful, right? So what should we do? If we cannot count on return to our place called heaven, we cannot count on come back to like pure consciousness, or come back to the kingdom of God. So what should we do then? So this is a question. So there's a little bit more information about liberation. In Buddhism, in Hinduism, it's called moksha. So the concept of moksha means liberation, like ultimate happiness, bliss, like you will be complete, you will have the absolute freedom. So there is another concept called jiva mukti. Jiva mukta, that means you can realize your liberation while you're still alive. But you know what? This concept, it doesn't exist at the beginning. So at the beginning, the concept of liberation, of moksha, is something you can only achieve after you die, after your body fade away. But then, because, this is something psychology, if people think, okay, I only just counting on something after death, then why should I do this? I feel like not promising. So somehow they create this concept of jiva mukta. That means you can, if you follow me, that I can give you the liberation while you're still alive. So that's how it happened. I mean, you can go check the history, and that is how it is. So most of the school actually even include Buddhism. There are this kind of thoughts, is moksha is return to some eternal existence. And because they consider another side, or somehow there is a real existence, all of this is Maya, is not even real. Even nirvana, essentially, it become like, you'd rather just go completely emptiness, or you just go to be with one, merge with one. It doesn't matter if you call it consciousness or not, because afterward, the Buddhism has so much different school. They all have different thoughts, different understanding, and some of them are very close to Advaita Vedanta, to be honest, because there are very strong tendency of idealism and ontology. So they suggest that you should also go with, you should be with oneness, with God, or with Buddha, or with some kind of ontology. So all of the school I mentioned here, they have a strong tendency of obsession, attachment to some kind of otherworldly entity in another shore. They believe that is eternal, but they forgot that what is really eternal is the manifestation itself. So what does this mean? This means the manifestation, no matter you like it or not, it will never stop. It will keep going forever. Our body now, well, temporarily is ours because our concept of I is a combination of our self-identity and consciousness and our physical body. About consciousness, in the future, we'll discuss a lot about these things, no worries. But now we're just suggesting that everything will keep manifesting. And they are changing shape, changing form based on the condition. So now we have our physical body, and you can see every day you are aging, unfortunately, aging, and you'll get old. And before you were a child, and essentially your body will die, and then you will back to the ashes, and then the tree grow on it, and animal eat the tree. And all of these things is just in the one net of relationship. Everything you just keep interacting and changing and moving, always emotive in this relational web. So based on relational non-duality, what is moksha, what is liberation, is to understand this, that our essence is countless, is endless manifestation from this potential field. You don't need to call it consciousness because consciousness is just one of its manifestation, right? So this endless field of potential, that is our true nature, and that is, we call it one. But at the same time, our shape, our form, that wave among ocean, that is also real because that's our manifestation of this potentiality. We manifest as something. So they are all real, and they both need to be respected. So that means your life as a person right now, you need to be respected. You need to respect and acknowledge your existence, your life. It's not like, oh, there's no self and you just like, you emerge with some kind of oneness. No, because you are one of the very precious and important manifestation in this ocean. Yes, you are a wave, but you have your purpose. You have your meaning as a wave. So from this understanding, we can naturally get to a conclusion that our meaning of life is what? Is to be one of our beautiful manifestation, harmonious manifestation. And we need to understand and respect other being. Our essence is one. So this is how the morality built based on. It's not somebody force you, it's not the law push you, it's not out of fear. It's because you understand this nature. You just naturally, you will have morality. You wouldn't just stand by or be an observer. You will actually do something. You will say something. You will try to secure, you will try to enhance and guardian your relational field in a harmonious way. You will try to do something to benefit other people when they are suffering. You try your best. We're not saying like you're going to save the world, but we're saying that at least you try your best to do something to help to build a harmonious relationship. And yes, I mean, manifestation itself, it doesn't matter if you are evil or you are kind, if you are good or if you are bad. Manifestation will not, because of that, change. It will keep manifesting, right? You do something bad or you hurt a person, and manifestation, it was still there. But there are causality, there are karma, there are bad consequences that you have to deal with. The point is, it doesn't change because you be a good person or bad person that the manifestation will stop. But if you want to be a liberated person, if you want to be happy and you want to have freedom, that requires your participation in a harmonious relationship. Your harmonious relationship with yourself, with others, and with the world. Because only if you have a harmonious relationship with yourself, you can get rid of something that actually makes you suffering, like addiction, like attachment to wealth, attachment to power, or attachment to control. These things, they cause us a lot of suffering in the world. I mean, you can know that sometimes you feel like everyone is against you, but in reality, not really like that. So what your consciousness, how you think, is actually make you suffering. So we need to have a harmonious relationship with ourselves, with others, obviously. Otherwise, we're gonna have war, we're gonna have all sorts of fight and argument, and that will not benefit this word of manifestation to be a beautiful manifestation, right? And also our relationship with the world. If we just become consumerism and take all the resources from this planet, take it for granted, and essentially the world is not going to be a beautiful manifestation as well. So all of this suggests that it requires us to participate and to do something to guardian the harmonious relationship, as I said earlier. That's why last time I make the episode about drugs, and I criticizing about people. Some people, they suggest that doing drug they can somehow be spiritual or awakening. Because about the manifestation itself, why you need to say some kind of vision to say everything is changing shape and then you understand, oh, everything is manifesting. You don't need that. Because in reality, every day you can see the manifestation. Why? You can feel your manifestation of your thoughts. They are changing, they're constantly arising and falling. That's manifestation, right? In the psychological way. And in physical way, you can say everything is in motion and your body every day is aging. Well, unfortunately, but this is a fact. And you can just observe a tree, observe a flower, observe nature. That is the best meditation. That's the best meditation, that to realize the manifestation is the truth. You don't need to just take drug or go to a magical field to understand these things. Not at all. And actually, it's the opposite. If you do things like that, then, I mean, if your mind is not even like in peace and is kind of diluted, you probably will even be more difficult to understand this, because you can only feel that. You can only say things like that when you using such a strong boost, and you cannot really say it in real life. And again, it's like this short and that short thing. So what we need to try our best to reduce, to remove this gap between this reality, this real world that is lovable, to something we believe is in another side, another shore, or heaven, or whatever. Because the more gap of these things between, the more suffering, literally, more suffering. Because this world in your eyes will never be enough as good as that side. And when you're craving that side so much, and you will only feel so depressed because this side is not as good. So after knowing all of this, what it tells us is that don't be so obsessed to something sometimes. Like you're so obsessed to be someone great and everyone worship you, or you are enlightened, you are delighted, you whatever. Not necessary. You just be a beautiful and peaceful manifestation. That's it. That's enough. Because you get so much obsession from, like, if it's like attention or power or wealth, essentially you will only feel lost and suffering when you step by step lose it, and you will lose it, because we are all in the endless process of manifestation. Things change, things move. So don't be so obsessed with these things. Just be a normal person, as a good person. That's it. And also don't be obsessed about like eternal life or immortality. We just want to live forever, like 150 years old, or you just want to live 5,000 years old because you feel like you just want that. No need, just no need. Just enjoy your life, enjoy your beautiful manifestation. Make sure is delightful, make sure is responsible, and make sure that you participated in a responsible and harmonious way. That's all. That's liberation. And also one more thing is, after you know all of this, it doesn't mean you just reach it, you're already just liberated. No, because all of these things, well, just talk the talk for now, you got to walk the walk. You have to literally to leave this philosophy out. If you know these things and you just talk to other people and just show off, oh, you are liberated, you say, I know so much thing, And in real life, you just do a lot of things to harm other people, then that's not gonna work. Because why? Because when you do such thing, you will still suffer. You still suffer from all sorts of ego brings problems. So that's it. I mean, this is why I make this philosophy. It's a bridge. It's a bridge to all sorts of like so extreme position to find a middle ground, and also bridge Western and Eastern philosophy, bridge like Buddhism and Hinduism, and also fix the gap between spirituality and science. Okay, so that's it. This is about what I speak so far about relational non-duality. I made a little summary, and I hope you like it. And let me know if you prefer this way, or I just write the script. So yeah, let me know, and I will see you in next episode. Bye.